Welcome right to another edition of WCW 2005 here in TEW 2020, and it's time for the TEW Mayhem tournament, the finality of it, as we're at the Mayhem pay-per-view live from the beautiful Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts. So let's get rolling with the shows. We got a lot of big matches, all the quarterfinal matches, Ray Kidman for the world title, Storm and Awesome trying to get their tag titles back, and lots of other fun matches. So let's get rolling with the show. We have our opening video that basically, goes over, all the, big tournament competitors, the big world title match and everything else. That's, put over that, one man walk out world champion. With the moment he does, he becomes a target for whoever wins the Mayhem tournament. And that opening video gets an 85 because basically it's all our top stars plus, well, the truth. Then we have our opening match, which is the first match of the Mayhem quarterfinals. That's Jack Evans, the underdog, who has gotten two big upsets in a row to advance to the quarterfinals, taking on Shane Helms along with Titus Tomko. And this match is a very, very good match, as it's two men who aren't afraid to go all out on each other, and that's what it is. Like Evans flying around, Helms doing his heel stick, trying to keep Evans down on the ground and down on the map, and then using his sort of like slight size advantage to pick apart Evans, and then hit some a big suplex, a big lariat, his own flying move, trying to hit a super kick early to take out Evans, but Evans is ready for him to sort of like a duck under and then rolls through. Of course, there's some wacky dives by Evans, big drop kicks, big tope con hilos, springboard moonsaults, springboard DDTs, tornado DDTs, sunset flip power bombs. All the wacky stuff you'd imagine. But eventually, Helms, of course, with some interference, Tomko takes back over, and Helms actually hits the big super kick late in the match and goes for the pinfall, but Evans barely kicks out. Helms gets upset, as heels do, and nails him again with super kick and goes for the Nightmare on Helm Street, but Evans basically rolls out of the way at the last second. Tomko goes after him on the outside. Evans actually gets out the way at the last second, playing possum, and Tomko is taken out via the ring post. Helms goes after him. Evans is ready for him, throws him over the table, back inside. Evans hits a few big moves, then goes up top. Stunt 101. 1, 2, 3. Jack Evans wins the quarterfinal match and advances to the semifinals as the big underdog. As overall, this match gets an 84. Goes a little over 15 minutes. Gets a psych, which I was expecting because like Jack Evans going in 15 minutes, 2005. I mean, he's probably a little better as far as psych goes as he was in real life because he's been wrestling, on big nationwide TV with people like Anderson, Dusty, everyone giving him tips. But still, he's still Jack Evans, But he gets a big win here. This gets an 84. Shane Helms gets an 87. Jack Evans gets a 91 again. He is stupidly good and getting really over, and he's getting like this is why I'm pushing him like this hard. I'm pushing him basically our version of Jeff Hardy, except with the drug problems, hopefully. But anyway, Jack Evans celebrates as the announcers put over what a huge result this is, what a big upset, as Jack Evans is one match away from getting a shot at the World Championship anytime he wants, as this gets a 73. Then we have our next match in the tournament as AJ Styles taking on the Truth. Of course, the Truth, advanced out of sort of the chosen few babyface corner of it. While AJ Styles, defeated Keith Walker and Shelton Benjamin in successive matches. So, and this is like, this is a babyface match. This is not like, Truth plays subtle heel only because he can probably play it a little better while Styles flies around. Truth, grounds him, does some power moves, big suplexes, DDT, goes for a spinning kick thing, but Styles gets out of the way. Match, is quick and intense, but clean. They go outside, they fight a little, things get a little more intense. Truth goes for the Truth consequences on the floor, but Styles gets out of it. Hits a big sort of like a dive off the ring apron onto the Truth. Sends the Truth back in, hits the forearm, sets up the Styles Clash, but Truth gets out of it. Truth goes back on offense. Truth fires back. It looks like he's going to pick up the big upset here. Or is it really an upset? As these are like two young stars on the rise. But he, Truth goes for his, sort of wacky, sort of spinning kick, but Styles avoids that. Big, big sort of like double underhook suplex. super savant kick from Styles, hits a phenomenal forearm, hits his moonsault into a reverse DDT for a near fall. Then he picks him up, Pele kick. Truth is stumbling, boom, phenomenal forearm, Styles clash, 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles advances into the finals of the tournament. And yeah, overall, all this match gets an 82 because of the face thing, but still a really solid match. AJ gets a 93, the Truth gets an 81, and a very big match here as AJ Styles wins and advances into the quarterfinals. And this also means a slight update. Also with the predictions. This now means in the prediction tournament with 2 semifinal matches and quarterfinal matches in the final left, Peninsula is still at 16, Summon King still at 22, or has gotten 5 points for 22. Shadow Mac has gotten 5 points to get to 28. Monty Pounce is at 26, and WCW Face has gotten 5 points to get 35. Of course, nobody predicted Jack Evans in the quarterfinals, so there's no need to update the scores after that match. And after that, there's a moment of tension, but then AJ and Truth shake hands, and Truth sort of pats on the shoulder and tells him good luck for the match. And that's gets a 71. Friendship, yay, baby faces. Next up, we've got a big match between 2 big tough men. OHare takes out Monty Brown in the quarterfinals, and this match was not going to be, beautiful, grand wrestling. This was going to be 2 guys kicking the crap out of each other, and whoever basically gets the advantage and hits a few big moves on the road was probably going to win. And that's where it was right from the start. As they start, clubbering blows right from the start, like OHare tossing Monty around, but Monty coming back up and tossing OHare around, fighting immediately almost to the outside, going over the ring apron, battling in the crowd a bit, throwing back in, Monty going for a pounce on the outside, but OHare getting out of the way, and Monty crashing into the ringside barrier, OHare taking over, hitting a big boot on the outside, tossing OHare in, hitting him, power slam, lariat, picking for the Widowmaker. Monty gets out of it. Then Monty hits a big suplex. OHare stumbles up. Alpha bomb from Monty. Goes for the near fall. No, only gets a 2.5 count. Monty sets him up for the pounce, but OHare gets out of the way again. Monty gets, Monty goes in the corner. OHare picks him up. Widowmaker. No. Oh, Monty turns into a DT at the last second. Both men down. Ref counts to 10. Almost. Both men get up. Clipper and blows. Again, Monty looks like he's going to get the win. OHare reverses the, sort of throw into the ropes for the pounce. And OHare gets a big belly to belly. Again, hits a big lariat. Power slam. Goes for the Widowmaker again. But this time, Monty goes low on him. Hits low blow. Hits a big suplex. OHare is stumbling. Boom. Pounce. 1, 2, 3. Monty Brown has advanced into the quarterfinals. And now 3 men out of the 4 are into the quarterfinals. And yeah, this was a, quick, tough match. This gets a little over 11 minutes. It's an 81. OHare gets a 77. Monty Brown gets a 79. Fun stuff, basically, just putting everybody over, as sort of the big, tough guys they are. But Monty gets the big win here. And yeah, I will actually go over that in the post-show stuff. And now it's time for another update. As after that match, Monty Brown, the Monty Pounce prediction, retakes over second place. WCW New Face has 40 points. Shadow Mac has 28, and Zombie King has 22, and Palumbo Potential has 16. So really getting close here, to the end here. But one more match, and that can change a lot. So we'll be back with that in just a second. Well, actually, first, we're advancing into the post-match stuff, which is Monty celebrating as the announcer's putting over. He's going to be a very, very tough man to defeat, even if it's a ladder match. And another big match in the quarterfinals has, again, 2 more big guys here trying to fight to advance into the finals as the man, Goldberg, takes on Chuck Palumbo, who was the number 1 seed. And again, this is another, more fight and brawl than anything else, as, these are not, again, 2 technical masters. These are 2 guys doing their best to use their power and strength and intense, moves to get into the next round. As early on, Palumbo takes advantage first, hits a few, big nasty moves, going for the Palumbo's pride early, not but full throttle early. Goldberg blocks it, hits a few big knees, hits a few suplexes, goes for the spear, but Palumbo gets out of the way. Palumbo hits a big boot of his own, takes down Goldberg, hits a big sort of side suplex, goes for a power bomb and hits a sit out power bomb for a near fall. Then he hits a big lariat for another near fall. He picks him up for the full throttle again. Palumbo gets out of it. Goldberg gets out of it. And then Goldberg clotheslines him to the outside, and this is where things get interesting as they start fighting, and they continue fighting, and eventually the ref calls for a double countout. It looks like both men are going to be eliminated from the match, but then after a moment, as the crowd is not happy about that, the ring announcer actually takes Mike and says he's got a message from both Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long, and they both agreed there will be no non-finishes in this tournament, and this match must continue until there's a winner. And Goldberg sort of surprised by this, and Palumbo takes advantage, hits him with a sort of kick to the back of the head, which sends him into the ringside barrier. Palumbo quickly throws him in, hits the full throttle 1, 2, 3, and Chuck Palumbo advances into the finals of the Mayhem tournament with a big win over Bill Goldberg here at Mayhem. I says with a former Roger, but but that's the actual finish. Gets an 84, a little under 14 minutes. Palumbo gets an 86, Goldberg gets a 90. Not enough selling shown. I mean, it's Palumbo and Goldberg. What do you expect? But yeah, really good match, really solid match as these men both advance. And yeah, big win for Palumbo here, as he now has a chance, along with AJ Styles, Jack Evans of all people, and Monty Brown to advance into the tournament. And the announcers also put over that it might be very tough for AJ Styles or Jack Evans, as Palumbo and Monty have had a loose alliance these last few weeks. But it really is every man for himself in the Mayhem final ladder match coming up later tonight. That does mean our standings for the tournament now. Prediction tournament, our WCW faces 45, Monty Brown's at 31, Shane O'Mac with 28, Zombie King with 27, and Palumbo Pencil at 21 after picking Palumbo. Now, this means, in theory, anybody, WCW's new face has sort of won the prediction tournament, actually, just because he picked 3 out of the 4 people in the finals, but 2nd through 5th place is still totally up for grabs. Now, because of who picked who, it's actually sort of, interesting, but I'm not going to reveal that. But in theory, anybody from 2nd to 5th place can still finish in 2nd or 5th place. Let's see what happens with that in a little bit. And of course, after this, as you expect, Palumbo is thrilled. Goldberg is very unhappy inside the ring, as the announcers put over just one moment there, change the path, change the direction of the match. Next up is our big Cruiserweight match here, as Matt Tidal tries to win back the Cruiserweight title, taking on Reckless Roberts. Reckless Roberts, of course, with his manager, valet, and his sister, Tracy Roberts. And this is a fun little match here, as they both go on each other. Roberts is a technical master, taking Sydal down, but Sydal's a high flyer. He immediately is hitting the high flying moves, hitting a springboard cutter, going for, sort of a, top rope dives, big, double jump moonsaults, all sorts of moves to try to keep Roberts down, but Roberts keeps him down, locks him and holds, but eventually does look Sydal has the win. What happens is, as it looks like Sydal's going to go up top for the shooting star press, Roberts, gets up, yells at the ref, and that'll, no, actually, what happens here is, the ref is checking on Roberts as he's down, Sydal's climbing up to the top, and as he gets to the top, Tracy Roberts shakes the top rope, Sydal crouches himself on the top, Roberts, miraculously recovers from his, injury, goes up top, hits a top rope DDT on Matt Sydal, and then locks in a stretch plum to pick up the submission win here at Mayhem and retain the Cruiserweight title for a second defense. And Matt Sydal has, gotten a big loss here at Mayhem with help, thanks to Reckless Roberts getting the win with the help of his sister Tracy Roberts. And overall, this match gets a 51 because of the, pre-show worker big. Roberts gets a 50, Mysterio gets a 61. Roberts was off his game. Tracy did some good work at ringside. Match cooled the crowd. But a very big win here for Reckless Roberts, as with help from Tracy, he retains the Cruiserweight title once again. And post-match, of course, they celebrate to the boos of the crowd as this gets a 45. And next up, it's time for a big six-man match as Kanyon teams up with Brother Ray and Gigantes to take on the chosen few of Simply Johnny Divine, Jeff Jarrett, and Magnificent Mark Jindrak. Of course, this feud has been going on for a few months now, and it's involved The Truth and Gigantes first helping out Brother Ray, and now Kanyon has gotten involved. Of course, Chosen Few believe they're the best group in professional wrestling, and men like Brother Ray and Gigantes and now Kanyon are in their way. And this is a very, very good, solid six-man match with the spots you expect. Gigantes getting a big face run early, throwing some people around. Divine being a, shitty, conniving heel. Jarrett doing Jeff Jarrett stuff, doing a bit of brawling. Jindrak using his power. Jindrak and Brother Ray, doing, a big double clothesline spot. Kanyon coming in and, doing his top face stuff, flying around, brawling, hitting big moves, hitting a flatliner in the middle of the match on Jarrett and almost getting a pinfall before Jindrak made the last possible second save. Kanyon and Jindrak then brawling a bit. Kanyon actually hitting the Kanyon cutter on Jindrak, but Divine coming in with a big dive to break up the pinfall win. Brother Ray, brawling with Jindrak and hitting the bully bomb, but going for Billy Bomb, but Jindrak made late, and then Jindrak getting a near fall off a power slam of his own. Things eventually break down. Brother Ray and Jarrett brawl to the outside, and that allows Kanyon to nail the Kanyon cutter on Simply Johnny Divine and pick up the pinfall win here for the babyfaces in a little over 14 minutes in a wild six-man match. And overall, this match gets a 79, solid six-man match. A little disappointing, but we did have Gigantes in there, and Kanyon suffered a twisted knee, but he still got a 96 performance because he's freaking Kanyon. But yeah, Gigantes got a 47, Brother got an 88, Kanyon got a 96, Jindrak got a 72, Jarrett got a 74, Divine gets a 70, and this was a fun little six-man as, honestly, this was just a way to continue this feud that's, going on for a while, and, get Kanyon in a big match, get everybody involved in a big match, because they're not involved in the tournament, and fun stuff all around, and of course, this feud is far from over. Why is it asking me to return to the booking screen? Oh, right, because, that's not good, because if he needs replaced in the booking screen, that means that he's actually injured enough, so he'll be out for a bit. Let me fix that. Yeah, thanks, Johnny Ace. Kanyon suffered a twisted knee in his match, so the show will need to rebook as a result. So basically what happens here is Kanyon, I guess, suffered the twisted knee on the Kanyon cutter, immediately rolled to the outside. And that meant the only babyfaces celebrating were Brother and Gigantes, as the refs would have rolled out and looked over Kanyon. But still a big babyface win, even if it looks like Kanyon might be out for a bit. Next up is a big match, as of course this has been set up for a little while now. Well, a little while in the sense that, of course, after Rob Van Dam lost his rematch for the World Championship against Kidman, he got very distracted and, began getting involved in a lot of calls with, obviously a former, friend or confidant of his. And eventually it was revealed that his confidant and new advocate is former ECW owner Paul Heyman. And now, after, of course, the big thing was RVD getting pinned in the four-way at Grand American Bash and thus not being a part of the Mayhem tournament. So instead, what Paul Heyman set up was the Van Dam Invitational, which was basically RVD beating up on a bunch of, local workers, being more aggressive. Fans are still behind him because he's RVD and charismatic, but, getting a little, sort of mixed reaction. But Paul London came out and eventually, sort of called him out and said if he wanted, someone to face him in an Invitational, why not face him? RVD, agreed, despite, Paul Heyman's insistence that he doesn't, and here we go. And this match fucking ruled. It's Rob Van Dam and Paul London in 2005, and it's a version of Rob Van Dam where he's the basically number 2 or number 3 star in the company, and a version of Paul London who is a very competent upper mid card, shades of main event guy. And these guys just they just go all out. This is a very, very high grade, indie cruiser, high impact, big move style match. And these guys go all out to show off. We get Linden flying around, RVD being aggressive, throwing around rolling thunders, split leg moonsaults, London hitting a big top rope rana for a near fall. We get a, sort of wacky moves from London. We get a, Tornado DDT. We get a springboard cutter. We get a La Magistral for a near fall. We get a big suplexes for both men as they're, even more even size as you get. We get lots of big Paul Heyman reactions. We get London a huge dive on the outside, take advantage. We get RVD taking advantage on the outside with his brawling ECW ways and throwing London into the corner. We get a near fall. About 10 minutes. We get 10, 12 minutes in as RVD hits a Rolling Thunder, goes up top, 5-star frog splash, but Paul London gets feet at the last second. RVD gets a little upset at that. He goes for a beatdown on London, eventually backing off. London rolls him up for a near fall, hits a big DDT, goes up top. London calling. RVD gets out of the way. RVD goes up top for his own 5-star frog splash, but London rolls out of the way. Both men are down. Ref almost gets up to 10. Slowly, both men get up, start fighting. RVD takes advantage, hits the, sort of spinning leg lariat, like a moonsault, picks him up, Rolling Thunder. Heyman distracts the ref. He throws in a chair, goes for the Van Daminator, but Paul London's ready for him. Ducks, hits London in the back, hits RVD in the back, hits a big Tiger Bomb, goes up top. London calling shooting star press. 1, 2, 3. Paul London has defeated Rob Van Dam here at Mayhem. And yeah, this match fucking ruled. 95, London got RV got a 95, London got a 92. This might have been even a 97, 98 if they were both on opposite sides. And yeah, just an insane match here as Paul London gets, he's been US champ before, he's been a tag champ before. But you could argue the biggest win in his career, defeating the former world champion Rob Van Dam right here at Mayhem. And, well, post-match, Rob Van Dam's not happy about, London, goes, celebrates, turns to RVD, puts out his hand, RVD slaps it away, London sort of shrugs it and turns to go to the back, and then that's when it happens. RVD attacks Paul London and just begins beating the shit out. He grabs the chair that was previously moved and just begins nailing one over and over and over. And then Heyman comes in laughing as RVD points to himself, saying he's Rob Van fucking Dam. 75 goes only a couple minutes, but yep. RVD's a heel now with Paul Heyman. There you go. And now a match that was, I don't say a mistake, because I sort of knew this was happening, but sometimes you gotta really, hurt that card for the good of the card. So, this is a Ring of Fire match. So basically, instead of an Inferno match, basically it's little, fire spouts coming up at various times. As Mesias Morningstar, of course, these men have been shooting for months since Morningstar tossed him out. Mesias sided with Raven. Raven's been gone for the past few weeks for reasons. And, Mesias been off his chain going after Morningstar. And that's what this is. Obviously, nobody actually takes a fire bump, which probably also doesn't help with the crowd, as just brawling, fighting. Honestly, I should have just had this be I should have had this just be a, not a gimmick match, but a cinematic match, because that went over fine last time. But hey, what can you do? You think about things, and sometimes you take risks, even as your ring rotation says don't, and it don't happen anyway. We get the interference you expect. Kai Graves attacking Mesias, the Prophet coming in going after Morningstar, Rothschild and Killswitch going after Mesias but getting chokeslammed for their troubles, and then what happens next is a woman who's dressed in a goth way comes out and gives something to Morningstar. Morningstar tries to throw basically a fireball at Mesias. Mesias gets out of the way. Kick, wham, Morningstar gets drilled with the Crucifix Powerbomb. 1, 2, 3, and this match is over. And yeah, folks, when your reaction say something is very inappropriate for a for your audience, listen to them. Yes, Mesias got a 91, Morningstar got a 76. This match got a 20-2. Again, I was expecting maybe a 50. I was not expecting a 22. So yeah, and this is a weird thing. So only I even took off the fire because it was vetoed. So it was just weapons, and I don't know. I don't know. But Morningstar at least have great chemistry, which means I'm probably going to do at least once. Maybe on regular TV or something. I don't know. But yeah, also we had the debut coming up from Developmental of Mischief, now named Morgan, and her witchy woman got a gimmick of great. So that's good. She's a heel because she had a 1% heel, but I didn't want Mesias to do the job here, so just it failed, which may lead to something. And yeah, I don't know, maybe some of the stuff malfunctions, so actually there's supposed to be fire spots, but they didn't actually go off, or maybe they went off at the wrong time, blocking the announcer's view. But yeah, let's just put this in the wrestle crap it was. Oh, whoops, god dang it. So next up, which I hope you guys didn't see the total, which we're looking for here, the spoiler there. Next up is our tag title match, of course. The Hardys, Matt Hardy made his debut and Jeff Hardy made his return, a few weeks back as Awesome and Storm put out an open challenge as the, big time, which we're looking for here. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart here. The shocked the world and won the tag titles in their debut match. And now, Storm and Awesome are getting their rematch here. And this was a very good match. But also, so I don't know what happened, but and the weird thing is hasn't been wrestling more than any other wrestler even. But Lance Storm was really fatigued. And I sort of went over the limit here as he regularly gets 85s or 90s, or high 80s, maybe mid 80s, but he got a 75 here. Awesome's got a 91. Jeff Hardy got 100 because again, he might be my number one guy if he could not be Jeff Hardy, and I'm hoping he gets better. But right now, the tag division is where he's going to say. But getting to the actual match, I mean, it's the sort of the tag match you'd expect from these guys. Storm doing technical stuff, trying to out with the Hardys. Hardys being a brotherly team up who can do anything they want. Awesome throwing people around, but pretty solid match here. Great wrestling, great heat, superb wrestling. But what happens here is pretty simple. At a certain point, tag teams are tag teams for a reason, and boom, twist of fate. Boom, Swanton Bomb. Jeff Hardy nails it and gets a pinfall win over Lance Storm to retain the tag titles once again for the Hardys as make their third defense. As this match only gets an 81, which is a little disappointing. And again, if we go here, it's because of these couple of things. So Tony Schiavone rolled badly. Lance Storm was fatigued, inconsistency, and then lack of heat, unfortunately. But I think that's because I forgot to do something for the last week before the pay-per-view. But yeah, but still a very solid win here for the Hardys as they retain the tag titles and are still your tag team champions. And post-match, Hardys celebrate with titles as the youngsters put over them as, the kings of the tag team division at the moment. As this gets a 71. And next up is our women's title match as Tricia Skye defends her women's title once again, and this time against Lizzy Dumas, of course, her longtime rival from up north. And now, Dumas has been busy the past few months, sort of in the undercard, but she made the challenge to Tricia Skye. Tricia Skye accepted, and here we are. And, these are two very talented women's wrestlers. Dumas, is a, fighter and goes after Skye early, but Skye, fights back. Match eventually spills to the outside. Skye actually, gets slammed on the ring announcer table, and Lizzy Dumas goes up top and goes for the moonsault off the top rope onto the table, but Tricia Skye and actually nails it, but the impact almost takes more out of here, as both women are down, but the ref, sort of allows it to go through. Lizzy throws Tricia into the ring steps, throws her back in, modified DDT, goes up top for the moonsault again, but this time Tricia Skye kneels her, gets her knees up, both women are down, fighting. Trisha eventually takes advantage, hits the sky's the limit, and after a little over 16 minutes, gets the pinfall win here at Mayhem and retains her women's title in a very good, very solid match here on pay-per-view. Only gets an 81, a little disappointing, but not bad. Again, lack of heat. Trisha gets an 80, Lizzy Dumas gets a 70. But a big win here as Tricia Skye retains the women's title once again, and sort of has defeated lots and lots of challengers, and looks to be the queen of the women's division here in WCW. And post match, Tricia celebrates to a 68 as the announcers go over all that. And then we got our entrances for the finalists to the main tournament. As the ladder's there, Jack Evans comes down, sort of like, mimes like he's going to go up there right away, and then does a flip. Chuck Palumbo comes down with Raven Rain, sort of cockily smirking at Evans. Monty Brown comes down tense as always. AJ comes down, to a big pop, piping up the crowd, and they face off in all four corners. As the ref, the ring announcer goes over the rules. The winner gets a title shot whenever they want. And we saw what happened with Kidman earlier this year, as he quickly became the world champion out of nowhere. So now let's get on with the match. So this was a very great match here, as what I talked about earlier happens early, as Palumbo and Monty Brown they just take Evans and they just go after him. They just throw him over the top. He takes a huge bump over the top, just killifying him. Styles does the valiant babyface thing, fighting against both men. Even getting some offense in early on Palumbo after Monty actually accidentally nails Palumbo as Styles gets out of the way. But eventually they also, grab Styles, toss him to the outside, and it looks like there's going to be, a massive victory here as Palumbo starts climbing after only a couple minutes. But then Monty Brown looks around, grabs Palumbo, and off the ladder, Alpha Bomb. And of course, this was just enough time as Monty Brown begins to climb the ladder for Evans to fly out of nowhere and hit him, basically hit him with a drop kick off the top rope onto the ladder. Monty Brown takes the bump, but Evans also takes the bump. Styles comes in, hits a quick, moons, hits the hits a ladder assisted moonsault reverse DDT on Monty, scrambles up to the top, but Palumbo's ready for him. They fight. Palumbo, punches him off, but then Evans, hits him with a dropkick to the back, allowing Palumbo to take the battle, off the ladder. Again, the match continues. This isn't quite we aren't quite to current levels of insane bumps off ladders, but there's some big bumps. Another ladder gets involved. There's a body slam on it. There's some suplexes involved. There's some rope. We get the spot where somebody does the quick does the does the airplane spin with the ladder, knocking all three men down. We get more spots with men going after ladder. There's a bit of some miscommunication and a little bit of dragging as everybody's going all out. And there's not a ton of psychology here, because AJ's almost there. Palumbo and Monty, and Jack Evans. So there's some spots where people are recovering too quickly, but slowly but surely, it does look like Chuck Palumbo is in a one seat for a reason, and he's going to get the big win. But Jack Evans actually, is with him and hits a huge sunsplit powerbomb off the ladder onto another ladder. Not onto the ladder, but onto the floor. And it really looks like Palumbo is down and out for the count, but so is Evans. Styles gets up. He's going for it, but Monty Brown tosses him off and basically grabs him and almost chokeslams him off the ladder onto the floor to a big pop. Then it looks like Monty's about to win, but Evans, actually Palumbo recovers first. He goes after Monty Brown. The two heels start to brawl. They start to brawl to the outside, and then but Jack Evans recovers first. But it looks like he's climbs up to the top of the ladder, but then he sees AJ Styles recovering on the outside. So Jack Evans does what he does best, which is something very stupid, as he hits a huge, insane moonsault Tobakan Hilo off the top of the ladder onto the floor, as all four men are down and out after a big pounce on the on the ramp. Both men still recover, and then it looks like Monty's going to get the win as he hits a big pounce on Palumbo, who's coming in. But then AJ comes from behind, hits him with the phenomenal forearm to the back of the head, picks him up, Styles clash. But then Palumbo slow recovers, and attacks him. So AJ does what he does have to do, and gets him, sets him up. Modified style clash from the top, from the ladder, onto the floor. Not the floor, onto the mat, which is totally possible, right? Sure. And then AJ, bit by bit, with everybody down, slowly, gets up to the top, unclashes the called shot, and as the crowd pops, AJ Styles has won the Mayhem tournament. So yeah, two things here. I said it's 20 minutes. I forgot that it needs to be less than 20 minutes. It's not the thing where it can be 15 minutes and so, but so a little bit of, it was dinged a little bit for that. And like I said, the no psychology, because well, let's look. It's 2005 AJ Styles. It's 2005 Jack Evans. It's Chuck Palumbo and Monty Brown. But AJ Styles gets the huge victory here as he becomes the Mayhem tournament winner. Palumbo got 8 in 84. Monty Brown got an 88 in this match. AJ Styles gets a 94. Jack Evans gets a 92. Again, Jack Evans, what the fuck? And yes, AJ Styles is your winner of the tournament. And that means, here are the final standings of the tournament. Zombie King jumps up to second place by picking Styles to win. WCW's face sort of dominated as he picks Styles to win. Monty Pounds in third place. Shane O'Mac just misses at 28 and Palumbo at 21. But again, thanks to all 5 of you guys for being part of the tournament. And hey, look, next year, well, not next year in game, sign up, and you might have a chance to win. But yeah, I mean, this basically came down to, I mean, the big, like, is AJ, Zombie King and WCW Face both picked AJ to win, but WCW Face got 3 out of 4 people in the semifinals, and with nobody else, I think, getting more than 2, or even maybe even 1, I forget, I'll double check. That was just where it happened, but again, picking the winner did allow Zombie King to finish in second instead of fourth, and so for Monty Pounds, Zombie King, and WCW Face, I'll contact you via the way you set it up with your instructions on, basically it's going to get back to me with what you want, and we'll go from there. But now let's move on. As AJ celebrates with a call shot as the announcer is put over, he has risen to the top here, and it might be finally his moment in WCW after being a Cruiserweight champion and a tag team champion and a US champion. Right? I didn't have him US champion, right? But now it's time for the main event. But first, we get the entrances. As first comes out the challenger, Mysterio Jr. Of course, he was really going to his title back a few months back, but the triumvirate, even though we can't prove it, attacked him in the parking lot, putting him out for a few weeks. But he came back, helped save Kanyon at the last pay-per-view to not get attacked with triumvirate, and then it's been building between these two men who have been long-term rivals. And out comes the WCW World Champion, one of the most hated men in professional wrestling, alongside April Hunter, the leader of the triumvirate, the world champion ever since he called a shot and took the title from RVD, retaining against RVD in a 2 out of 3 falls match rematch, defeated Kanyon. And you don't have to like him, but you have to respect the fact he is your WCW World Champion, and it's time for these two men to face off in a huge main event. I mean, it's Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Billy Kidman in 2005, except Kidman's a massive heel, and Rey Jr. is one of our top stars. So, it is a exceptional, intense, great match. And, but it's built slowly at first, because, these two men know each other well, so they don't want to, let anything happen that could lead to a quick loss. So Rey Jr., takes Kidman down, Kidman takes Rey Jr. down, we get some, roll-ups, quick pinfall attempts, quick moves, quick rolling first cradle, turned into a big German suplex from Kidman. Kidman tries to keep Rey Mysterio Jr. locked in submissions to slow Rey down, but Rey comes back, does his own brawling, actually locks Kidman in a lasso from El Paso, but Kidman gets out of it. Eventually, Kidman throws Rey to the outside, hits a suicide dive on the challenger, beats up on Kidman, throwing him into the ring barrier, throwing him into the ring apron, uses his size advantage here that he has to beat up on Rey, hits a big powerbomb on the outside on the floor, and then rolls in the ring to cockily accept the countout. But Rey Jr. gets in at 8. He gets more of a beatdown. Kidman picks him up for the Kid Crusher, but Rey, gets out of it, comes back, head scissors, arm drags, big drop kicks, takedowns, big dives, tornado DDT, springboard splash, near fall after near fall for Rey, but he goes for the springboard Rana, but Kidman turns it into a sit-down powerbomb for a near fall. Kidman takes back advantage, hits a big DDT, picks Rey up, hits a huge brainbuster, goes up top, hits a, doesn't go up top, pick him up, Kid Crusher, Ray gets his foot out the ropes at just about 3. Kidman picks him up for another one, Ray pushes him off, battles, brawl to the outside, Kidman gets thrown out, Kidman rushes at Ray gets out of the way, Kidman's on the outside, huge dive from Ray, and then Ray goes up to the top rope again and hits a huge, from the ring apron to the floor, Rana on Kidman. Rana tries to interfere, she gets pushed away, Ray Jr. dives off the ringside barrier onto Kidman, but Kidman's ready for him, catches him, fall away power slam, on through the table, not to the table, but like near the ring announcers, Kidman back on offense, beating him down, using violence, throwing him around the corner, tosses him back inside, goes for the Kid Crusher, but Ray Jr. pushes him off again, Kidman upset, hits a big modified suplex, picks him up again, kick, wham, pile driver, picks Ray Jr. up again, Kid Crusher, but Kidman is not over yet. He knows Ray Jr. is a survivor. He knows he's a fighter. So he, picks Ray up, moves him into near the ropes, and Kidman climbs up to the top rope. And for the first time in a long while, he goes for the shooting star press. But Ray Jr. rolls barely out of the way to a huge pop. Kidman stumbles around into the ropes. 619. Splash. Near fall. No. Kidman goes after him. Ray Jr. gets out of the way. Puts him up top. Springboard. Hurricanrana. No. Pinfall almost at 3. He picks him up. He goes to top rope. Ray Jr. goes to the top rope. Kidman turns him into a top rope powerbomb. But he can't go for the near fall as both men are down. Kidman finally goes for the Kid Crusher again. But Ray gets out of it. Picks him up top for a big sunset flip. For a near fall. Hits a big, goes to the ropes. Hits a big Rana for a near fall. Throws him into the corner. Puts him up top. Double. Springboard. Poison Hurricanrana. Kidman goes right on his head. Ray Jr. rushes over the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. He's done it. Rey Mysterio Jr. is your new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. 96, slow build, perfectly done. Ray Jr. gets a 96, Kidman gets a 92. Great fucking match. Kidman rolls out. The crowd pops. Ray's given the world title. And all the babyfaces come out. James Storm, Chris Harris, Tricia Skye, Ken Anderson, Booker, Paul London, everybody from the Revolution side, as you know, put over. Nearly a decade ago, Ray Jr. came in, and those in the back didn't even believe anybody would give him a shot because of his size. Now here, in 2005, at Mayhem, he is at the top of this industry. 81 for the celebration. Overall, match itself gets us a 93. Again, might have been a 95 or 96 if I didn't have that horrible match. So let's see here. Ray, yeah. You get a hug. Who else did? Oh, Jeff Hardy. Hey. Great performance. AJ Styles. Great performance. Well, actually, no. AJ, you have to win. So, hey. Monty, actually, you get for great performance. But yeah, there you go. Kidman's reign, which seemed longer than it actually was because of the long break I had, is over. Rey Mysterio Jr. is your new world champion, but AJ Styles is your called shot winner. And I noticed, despite being friends and tag partners, AJ Styles is not out for that celebration. RVD turned heel. Hardy Boys are still your tag champions. Jacqueline's got to the semifinals of the tournament. Chosen Few took a loss. Tricia Skye is still your women's world champion. So lots and lots of stuff as the next show is, next pay-per-view is Fall Brawl, which is a Nitro show. Then we have Halloween Havoc, which is a Revolution show. And yeah, so let's first look into news. Whoops, that's some stuff that's kind of stuff that's, but like nothing out of notion. Yeah, I didn't make it obvious, but Raven took a drug hit, so he was gone for a month. But yeah, looking at here, okay, so Kanyon's, okay, so he's out for 16 days. Okay, so I mean that's actually fine, because honestly I didn't have much to do with him, but hey, fun stuff. But yeah, here we are. Let me just actually see here. So Ray Jr. Pop wise, so Actually, not the biggest jump for him. Like, well, no, actually, he got a couple points in most places, but yeah, a big moment here as Ray Jr. And if we look over the titles, Cruiserweight champion still Rickless Roberts. Your Mayhem tournament winner is AJ Styles. Kanyon still your television champion. Women's World Champion still Tricia Skye. US Champion is still Mike Awesome. World Tag Team Champs are the Hardys. And your new World Champion, ending Kidman's reign, which is going since April, is Rey Mysterio Jr. And yeah, just for a little check-in here. So yeah, Rey, where are you? There you go. So, Rey, of course, 5-time Cruiserweight Champion, nothing in my timeline. 2-time United States Champion while I've been booking. A additional 2-time Tag Champion with Kidman and Alex Wright since I've been around. With a 5 champion, and now a World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. So yeah, if we go to creative, yeah, actually, did RVD get any more popular because of? Oh yeah, he took it because he. Oh, how much better did Paul London get over? I wonder. Okay, so he's at an 83. He was okay. So I mean, he just basically got back his for his last job. Okay. So if we look at creative, so Goldberg's still our top guy. Ray Jr. is now number 2. RVDs are now the number 1 heel. Eddie Guerrero's number 4, and Tricia Skye is number 5. Hot prospects, yeah. Next big things, yeah, as you expect. Showstoppers, who's hot? RVD, Kaz, Ray Jr., James Storm, Shane Helms. Who's not? Flair, Teddy Hurts. I mean, sort of you'd expect. But yeah, that's it for now. A huge show here as Ray Jr. becomes the world champion. AJ Styles wins the Mayhem tournament. And yeah, that's about it. So if you like this, go and have a like. Comment below what you're enjoying, not enjoying. Subscribe to the channel for plenty of other of TEW 2020 content, including this series, my Ring of Honor with Cody Rhodes in Charge series, some returning wrestling eventually, Basketball GM, which should be back this weekend, and who knows what else. That's it for now. So talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.